Today's a really important day for the Prince's Regeneration Trust. This is the day that the Prince of Wales comes to visit Middleport Pottery for the first time. The Prince's Regeneration Trust was set up about 15 years ago to rescue important heritage buildings, including industrial buildings like Middleport Pottery. What makes this particular pottery so special is that it was built originally for the production of burley-ware, and that's still made here today using traditional techniques and traditional skills. And also, as you can see around me, there's this wonderful collection of artefacts and moulds that's been built up over time. So this is very important from a heritage perspective.
We all get on together and we're a little community of our own in a little back street in Middleport.
People will lose their jobs and everybody will be able to work, won't they? You know, there's quite a few people on here who rely on the work.
Burslem has suffered drastic economic decline. All that local people could see ahead was more closures and more deprivation.
A lot of skills in Stoke-on-Trent that have been thrown out of the pottery industry that are sitting there actually waiting to be re-employed.
So many people gave their lives and their skills and their dedication to build these wonderful places that give our towns and cities and villages a sense of identity and a sense of real belonging.
We're in Middleport, which is the last working Victorian pottery in England where they use handmade techniques.
The factory was no longer really of a standard to house the pottery going forward. So we would have lost the tradition and lost the skilled labour force.
We were facing a really uncertain future had the Prince's Regeneration Trust not secured a significant funding of £7.5 million.
All the work on the fabric is going to be restored. A big part of this here is going to be for new business startups, and of course the factory building itself where the pottery is produced is going to be renovated.
And we are regenerating everything to create a new centre for ceramics in Stoke-on-Trent.
I don't have to tell any of you here, Liz, because you know far better than I that this part of the world, Stoke-on-Trent and the potteries, has such a remarkable place in this country's history and in its manufacturing abilities, which of course have always been one of the great things that have defined Great Britain. And of course for me the tragedy is to lose these remarkable skills, and those skills are linked to and associated with so many families in towns like Burslem, or towns in all the potteries, towns all over the United Kingdom.
He got involved because he's a real advocate for heritage-led regeneration, which is all about using what we've already got, so looking to buildings or skills, any kind of traditional thing like that, where instead of just starting over again, he looks at what the tradition and the history of the place already is, uses it, and hopes that that will start a regeneration in the wider area.
He has provided an enormous boost to morale among the workforce and in Burslem, and I think has galvanised our efforts to deliver this project in the next 3 years.
As so often when places are facing huge challenges and loss of traditional industries and so on, the greatest difficulty, it seems to me, is how you rebuild confidence which has been lost and a sense of hope. So I pray that using this place we can spread out gradually, bit by bit, and give encouragement and heart to all those who might think nothing can be done. Because we will soon show that it jolly well can. Thank you, Liz.
Well, I think it would have closed last year, you know, we hadn't had this investment brought in, you know.
It's great news for all of us who work on here. I'm still working, doing what I've always done for most of my life. Really, really enjoyed it. You shouldn't say this on camera, but I'd have probably done it for free today. It's been brilliant.
Today's a really great day for Middleport Pottery. It's wonderful to be able to welcome here today the Prince of Wales and to show him the site itself. It's the first time he's been, so he's been looking forward to it very much. And it's also been really exciting to introduce him to the staff who work here and to the people who've made this project possible, both financially and through support in other ways. But I think the other thing that's really important to note is that today is not the end, it's the beginning. It's going to take us several years to complete this project, and what we hope is at the end of it we will have something which will be a really fantastic contribution both to Burslem and to Stoke-on-Trent. It's about the future of the pottery industry.